You know which riff I'm talking about. Hey there kids, and welcome to a brand spanking new installment of Weekend Wankshop, here with your new best friend, Uncle Ben. Ever since I started up putting videos of these classic Metallica riffs decoded, I've gotten a lot of requests to figure out one riff in particular. It's the riff that comes before the guitar solo in the Frayed Ends of Sanity. It's about 4 minutes into the song. The original guitar tone on Justice for All is really heavy, really scooped sounding too, so it doesn't exactly make it easy to transcribe off of, so I watched a bunch of live videos of Metallica playing with a more mid-range rich tone, but really one of the biggest helps of all was checking out the original demos, which you can find on YouTube. Frayed Ends of Sanity version 3 is especially helpful, even though for some reason it's tuned up a half step to F. On those live and demo versions of the tune, it's much easier to hear exactly what's going on with the riff, so I think I've come up with something here that is actually legit. But before we start getting into it, let's hear it again at step dance speed. And as always, there's a full tab for this week's lesson on my Instagram page, so be sure to go follow me over at Ben Eller Guitars. Find this week's lick, learn how to play it, then upload a video of yourself shredding through it along with the hashtag Weekend Wankshop. As is typical of the old school Metallica stuff, this is in standard tuning, but whenever they play it live now, they tune down a half step. I'm in standard. So first thing you're going to do here on the palm muted low E is, that's down, down, up, down. Really important to get the picking right there to get that gallop sounding right. And then after that, what you're going to do is to play the A string here, fret number 7, pulling off to 5, hammering back to 7. Like that. Just one pick stroke. Sometimes I see tabs that have a pick stroke here and a pull off and then another pick stroke. I think that kind of drives the rhythm a little bit differently if you play it that way. I believe it's just a pull off and a hammer on to get back to that 7. After that, we're going to have another down, up, down gallop on our palm muted E. Then the same lick. 7, pulling to 5, hammering back to 7. And then you do that exact same thing again. Another down, up, down gallop on the palm muted low E, and then your 7-5-7 lick. So far you should have. After that, he plays this lick on the low E string. A lot of transcriptions have this different, but especially if you watch them live, it's clear as a bell, and you can really see the positions that they're using, utilizing the 6th and 5th frets, B flat and A notes. Here's how you're going to do it. Play the low E string palm muted, downstroke, upstroke. After that, play the 6th fret low E string with a downstroke and a pull off back to open. So you got. After this, you're going to give 2 more of those open low E string palm mutes. And then play the 5th fret on the low E string with a downstroke and a pull off to open. So that's. Put that all together, you now have. So following that E string pull off lick, what we're going to do is the gallop and then the 7-5-7 lick again, and again, and the third time, and then we get to this. Now, this is another one of those parts that I see transcribed differently all the time, but it is essentially just the exact same thing that you played on the low E, just drop down to the A string is all. So you're going to have 2 open A's, the 6 with the pull off, 2 A's, and then 5 with the pull off. That's it. That right there is the basis of this riff. So I'll play everything that we have together with both ending licks. After that, James just keeps repeating the same thing, and Kirk starts adding in his harmonies that are just kind of up here on the licks like that. He doesn't add any kind of harmony onto any of those parts. Those are exactly like James's parts. But on the parts, he starts adding in these harmonies. First thing he does is a diatonic thirds harmony. So while James is doing this, Kirk is doing this. This is the 5th fret D string pulling off to 4, hammering back onto 5. The next harmony that Kirk adds onto there is just going to be a 5th harmony. So what this means is while James is doing 7, 5, and 7, Kirk is going to be a 5th away from that. He's going to be playing the 9, pulling to 7, hammering back to 9 on the D string. The next thing that you hear after that is just straight up octaves. Now it looks like Kirk live plays these up here. It's the exact same notes as what James is playing now, just an octave higher. This is going to be 14 on the D, pulling to 12, hammering back onto 14. Like that right there. I suspect he specifically plays them up in this register to get himself closer to the region of the neck he's going to need to get into the solo part live. And speaking of that guitar solo part, whenever Kirk busts into that, James puts this extra little ending onto the last part of the riff. This part was super hard to hear on the original, so again, thank God for that demo where you can clearly hear what's going on with these two power chords. So the very last time through, this is what it's going to sound like if you're playing James's part. You're going to have the gallop, then the 7-5-7 lick 2 times, just like before. But then on this 3rd time, here's what you're going to play. So this is me doing the gallop, and then just 7 pulling to 5. And then you're going to immediately jump right here onto this B flat power chord, 6th fret E, 8th fret A. Palm mute and play those really hard 6 times. And then come down a fret onto an A power chord, that's 5th E, 7th A, and play that without a palm mute. So it's normal, normal, shorter than your power chords. So I'll put the whole thing together here and kind of talk you through both of the parts here, and I'll play Kirk's part whenever it comes up. So we're going to start off with that first gallop, and notice that this is the only gallop in the whole thing where we go with the leading single note and then the gallop. All the other ones after that are just straight gallops. So here's how it kicks off. E string lick, A string lick, E string, 3rd harmony, 5th harmony, octaves, short, and that's the bottom line, because Uncle Ben said so. Like I said, if you're not exactly sure that I'm on the money there, be sure to watch a bunch of live videos and listen to the demo recordings of the original, even though they're in a different tuning. You can much clearly make out what's going on with the guitars. That and Justice for All guitar tone is just so hard to transcribe because it's so scooped and there's so much gain and there's so much low end. So definitely seek out some of the live and demo versions to confirm what you've learned today. I really enjoy doing these riffs decoded kind of videos on Weekend Wankshop, so please be sure to leave me a comment below with your favorite riff that you've never been able to figure out exactly right. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and you guys can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ben Eller Guitars, and you can go like my new Facebook fan page over on facebook.com/Uncle Ben Eller. Also, if you're interested in booking some Skype lessons, be sure to drop me an email, benellerguitars@gmail.com. Stay tuned for another sick lick next week. Cheers.